Gosh, I felt pretty good that morning. Why shouldn't I? In a week or so, I'd be opening my own garage. Yes, sir, I can see that sign now. Bud Simmons Automotive Repair Shop.
Hey, Bud. Bud Simmons.
Oh, Mr. Barker. Been a fine neighbor ever since Mary and I moved in. As soon as he heard I was opening a garage, he wanted me to hurry downtown. Take a look at a pretty successful garage run by an old friend of his, Gene Cassidy, who'd be glad to give me some pointers. Be sure and see Cassidy, Mr. Barker said. So, Cassidy I went to see. But I soon realized that Cassidy was too busy to talk shop. Anyway, about my shop.
Mr. Cassidy? Mr. Cassidy, got a minute? Don't go away, Joe. I'll be right back.
That's how it went. Another mechanic. Telephone. Customer paying his bill. Still another mechanic. And all through it, the cash register ringing up some fancy tune. Cassidy was running a successful business. This wasn't the time for me to play questions and answers. So I wandered into the shop. There were 3 or 4 mechanics, all busy and with no piddling jobs either. A complete engine overhaul. Delivery truck maintenance with steady cash rolling in. A brake job. I stopped in time to see something that opened my eyes. The mechanic was telling a customer he'd road tested his car while checking the brakes. He asked if it lacked pep, balked on hills.
No, I've never noticed it. You usually don't. One spark plug steal gas gradually, and power also. Let me show you something. You see the carbon on that plug? It makes that plug hard to fire. You'll also see that the electrodes are all pitted and burned. And you set of plugs that put a lot of pep in your car. Well, some other time. I haven't got the time right now.
Smart mechanic. He had all the old plugs out, with a new set ready to install nearby. The customer couldn't get away with the old complaint, taking too much time. In fact, by his taking time, the mechanic had given the customer the feeling he was helping him out. To me, it was as smooth a selling job as I'd seen.
Something I can do for you, mister?
No, just looking. Later, I struck up a conversation with the mechanic. One mechanic to another, I asked how Cassidy got these big jobs. Easy, he said. There are 3 little words played night and day over the Cassidy network. Look for trouble. By the time Cassidy was through, a simple tune-up job was up to a complete engine overhaul. Yeah, Cassidy was a smart operator. Soon after, I had a chance to see the master himself in action. It was the car that was overhauled, ready to go.
Thanks a lot, Ed. And don't forget to come in for that 300-mile checkup and that free oil change.
Free oil change? How did he do it? But then I got a look at the size of the bill. Profit, spelt with a capital P. I was beginning to get it. But though I hung around a while longer, I got no closer to Cassidy than over someone else's trouble. When I got home, Mr. Barker was still working in his yard.
Bud, have you seen Cassidy?
Yeah, I'd seen him. Old man Barker was right. Cassidy was sure a smart cookie. That night, I told Mary a few ideas I picked up at Cassidy's garage. Ever since I'd made up my mind to open my own place, Mary had been helping me collect the ABCs of running a successful operation. At the top of our list, she'd written, "You've got to be a first-class mechanic." I told her that today it takes a lot more. Just as important is a word, a big word. It's called salesmanship. Something that can decide whether a repair shop is headed for the rocks or smooth sailing. I kept thinking about that. About all the guys I'd known. First-class mechanics working for peanuts. Squeezing out a bare living. Dragging themselves into the ground. Yep, Cassidy's got the right idea. Takes salesmanship nowadays to make those cash registers ring up those golden notes. In the morning, I decided to go back and talk to Cassidy. But all at once, I discovered I was running short on gas. Here was another sales idea. The customer paying for a loop job with a reduced rate card. I asked the mechanic what gives. This garage I found sells its customers 5 loop jobs and a couple of oil changes at a reduced price. Keeps the rats busy. Not only that, gets the car on the lift so the mechanic can get a good look see. Spot anything wrong. On this one, he discovered a leaky muffler. More business. Yep, the woods are full of good sales ideas. When I got to Cassidy's, as usual, he was busy. But a girl who worked part-time was going over his file. By asking a few questions, I found she kept a record of every customer's car. Got in touch with them regularly by mail.
Say, Sue, bushings on that Chevy will be worn out in a month or two. Better make a note to contact the customer.
Okay.
Uh-huh. That's getting them coming and going. Home again, I found Mary'd been busy on her own. She doped out another principle for running a successful operation.
Make your customers feel you want to help them. That you're really interested in their cars. That you want to get them in the best possible working shape.
I told Mary about that combination deal I'd caught this morning. We tied that up with a few things I picked up at Cassidy's and came up with our third principle.
Give them something extra. Make your customers feel they're getting more for their money in your shop.
Now, I thought, we're getting somewhere. The days were running by, but still no word about my lease. The owner, Grady Lewis, was out of town and I was dealing with his agent. I was beginning to get worried. Made the mistake of mentioning it to Mr. Barker. Oh, I got out of there fast.
See Cassidy. See Cassidy. He knows Grady Lewis.
While I had time on my hands, I thought any merchandising tricks I could pick up would help me run a successful repair shop. And I picked up a lot. Ads in newspapers. Handbills posted on cards. Cards in the mail. So Mary and I added a fourth principle. Go after new business. Never be satisfied with your present number of customers. Keep building your clientele. Suddenly I thought of something. You know, Mary, we left out one of the most important things.
What, Bud?
The mechanic's got to have parts to work with, doesn't he? So use the best automotive parts you can get.
Of course.
I went to see the biggest jobber in town. He specialized in copper's piston rings and cauterizing. When the merchandising aides around, I could tell this guy knew today's score about salesmanship. I asked him how to tell which replacement parts are best. Take piston rings. Why did he say coppers were better than the rest?
That's a good question. Coppers is the only outfit in a good many years to develop new methods of making rings. Most of them exclusive methods. Give me a minute and I'll try to explain.
I gave him the minute, and he took me on a tour to the copper's piston ring plant.
This is the foundry, where a flameless induction process is used to melt raw metal. Electricity generates heat from within the metal. Result, no wide variations in the finished material, no excess oxidation, no impurities. In some cases, Mr. Simmons, the metal is centrifugally cast. Makes for tough, durable rings. Result, twice the strength of ordinary rings for the toughest jobs. Here's part of the heat treatment used in this coppers process to change the structure of the iron as cast to a structure that will give maximum strength, minimum wear of rings and cylinder walls. Later, the copper's ring is turned, bored, rough, finished, milled. Given the necessary slots, bevels, and grooves. Now, another feature in the processing of copper's rings, the atmospheric furnace for heat forming to give the proper tension and a temperature, mind you, 3 times the highest temperature a ring will ever be subjected to in an automotive engine. That assures long life. But let's move on. Here, the all-important top ring is porous chrome-plated with the exclusive Vanderforce process. The outside of the ring is given a porous surface, and that means the pores of the chrome will carry lubrication during the break-in, something hard or flash chrome can't do. The porous chrome also makes possible quick seating, less cylinder wear, less wear of all rings. Does that satisfy you, Mr. Simmons?
I guess it does.
It doesn't copper it. Throughout their processing, rings are taken right off the floor and checked for hardness, dimensions, roundness, given many other tests. Coppers is unsatisfied until every test a piston ring can be subjected to is performed in the laboratory and under load. In field tests, the type of test Coppers particularly emphasizes. Coppers files contain many reports from big fleet operators, all getting better results, longer engine life, less maintenance costs. The Yellow Cat Company in Los Angeles, with a huge fleet, is getting many more miles of operation between overhauls and much less cylinder wear than ever before. And a bus company down in Laredo, Texas, reports 350,000 miles in one bus operating through dusty, rugged terrain, all due to porous chrome. Why? Because Coppers has new rings that seal better, wear much longer, hold their tension under any engine condition. Well, this means longer life, more pep and power, and greater fuel saving. In short, better overall design without sacrifice of strength. Coppers piston rings are the best rings on today's market, but Coppers is still not satisfied. A large research staff, chemists, physicists, metallurgists, mechanical engineers, are working not only to maintain the quality of today's ring, but continually investigating, experimenting, searching for even a finer ring for tomorrow. And take Coppers cauterizing. The first, and still the only, quick, accurate, and permanent way to expand collapsed or worn pistons. In fact, ring jobs have a 50% better chance of succeeding with cauterizing. Mr. Simmons, that's the Coppers story.
Well, I had my facts on rings and parts, but what I didn't have was a garage. Time was passing, but still no word on my lease. One morning, I got a card from Cassidy's Garage offering a free winter checkup for my car. The weather was getting nippy. Anyway, I hadn't seen Cassidy in quite a while. Another smart sales idea. Sure, Cassidy was offering a free winter checkup, but it was bringing him a raft of new business. New water pumps being sold, radiator hose, antifreeze, even new batteries. On an impulse, I went in to see Cassidy. I told him my troubles. His answer hit me like a ton of bricks.
There's a darn good reason why you haven't heard from Grady Lewis. I've had my eye on that spot for a long time. I've been dealing direct with Grady, and I've got an option on that place. And I mean to take it up.
As soon as I got home, I broke the news to Mary.
Is there anything that I can do, Bud?
Yeah. See, Cassidy. Mary took me at my word. During dinner one evening, she told me she had a job with Cassidy. I knew better than to interfere. When you see that light in Mary's eyes, you know something's cooking. Anyway, she's home.
We need the money, Bud. Every day, while you make up your mind, we're going deeper into the hole.
Days went by while I looked high and low for another location. Talking to garagemen, cruising around town, seeing Mary on the fly. Until one day when I was about ready to give up and get myself a job. Hello?
Bud, come down here right away and see Cassidy.
Oh, Mary.
Don't be stubborn, Bud. It's important. See Cassidy.
I didn't see anything of Mary, but Cassidy was in his office. Oh, Mr. Cassidy?
Well, meet Bill Stanford. He's the copper's distributor.
Oh, it's
Good to see you, Mr. Simmons.
We'd met before, of course. I waited to see what was coming. Cassidy said Mary had shown him our principles for running a successful automotive repair shop.
You've got a fine young lady working on your team, Mr. Simmons. But you left out one of the most important principles. Make your customers want to come back to your shop again and again. And brother, I've had no trouble with you.
He said the Compass Company had developed a sales booster plan for automotive repair. In fact, Cassidy had got most of his sales ideas from that same book. They'd made a thorough survey of the automotive repair industry. And separating the good from the bad, had come up with a number of tried and tested methods for increasing business, for building profit for independent repairmen like us. The distributor showed me a copy of the Copper Sales Booster Plan.
Take my advice, Mr. Simmons, and sign up with this fellow right away.
Well, I hope to, if I ever get myself a garage.
You've got one, Mr. Simmons. I'm giving up that option on the Grady Lewis shop.
Waiting out in the shop while Cassidy finished his business with the Copper's distributor, I asked Mary what kind of magic she'd use. Well, what did you tell Cassidy?
I told him the truth, Bud, that you'd picked up most of your sales ideas by watching his own operation. He liked that.
The option.
Oh, it ran out this morning. I've been watching for the day. Mr. Cassidy has been too busy to notice. So I told him...
You told him?
But he liked that, too. Anyway, just between us, Bud, I don't think he ever intended to pick up that option.
Good grief, Mary. Where'd you get all that stuff?
Why, from studying our principles of salesmanship, Mr. Simmons.
Oh, Mary! You two young fellows get together. Mary and I will just stand by. And don't forget, Bud, in signing with Coppers, you're lining yourself up with a company that not only puts out the finest piston rings on the market, but is out to help you build your business. And if you ever need any extra help, well, you two kids know where to come. Just see Cassidy.